They should start the setup any minute now.
That's a bunch of guitar you need to deal with.
120.
Yep.
What was it? 16 drops?
Yeah, all the drops. How
All
does
the
the
drops.
drop system work in 40k? It's not like Age of Sigmar, right?
The drops doesn't really matter.
Okay. Basically, you gain information by having a lot of drops. You can see what your opponent did before you have to actually deploy shit.
Yes, that's the only thing that's the only benefit you can get.
Ah,
So if you have some key units, then sure, you can hide them until the end. But as we have in the podcast, we talked about table setups or deploying your army, and on the high level, that isn't such a big deal because you will usually deploy your army in a special configuration no matter what you see.
yeah.
Like Space Marine armies and the Drukhari armies will always be hiding behind some building at the start of the game. Admech will need to, or other like buff-based armies will always spread out so that they can put the buffs on everything, and then you need to do certain blocks and other formations.
Ah, okay.
Sure, deployment is still important, but in the end, it's not that important. I wonder if they've started deploying. Too bad we can't hear the table.
Där är det 7-mannen. Och det var den som hade Admech.
And that's tech priesting done, so we're back with some from the table.
Excellent.
I am gonna go and check on the Age of Sigmar side.
Do so. I think
I'll
we
be
have
back.
some Skitarii.
Yeah.
Infiltrators hiding in the middle ruin there. They're trying to measure out 9 inches from the deployment zone. So Samuel, Firefly, the Samuel has spent an ungodly amount of time on that army. I bet. It looks good. So we have some Cerberus Raiders. And I see Tim keeping his tradition of castling up near that near that building. So right now we have two Cerberus Raiders units on the table, some infiltrators, the Black Knights hiding in the house there. I don't know if the aircraft is actually placed yet, or if it's just standing there while they're setting up the armies. Here we have the first Skitari blob going into the building. I can mention that there are no windows on the bottom floor of these buildings, so those rangers will be completely safe. I've heard a lot about the Taunar, but I have never seen it, not even on a stream. But movement 16 ballistic skill 2, that sounds nasty. What type of guns did it have? 10 movement. Oh, that's a bummer. I will double check what's the point difference between them. I know Tim is in the lead, but with how much? I only think it's a few points. Team Nordin is currently first place with 71 battle points, and Richard Nilsson is second with 70, so it's just 1 point difference. And they have quite a big lead to the third place with only 61, or only he has 61. Fourth place with 60 points. And finally, fifth place with 59 points. But neither of them want to play a draw here. If they draw this game, then they both risk losing the first place. Ten Melta weapons. So the tower had 10 Melta, strength 8 means 4d6. Oh, that's a nasty weapon. Now, sadly, Segerlund didn't make it. He hurt his back, so he couldn't attend this final day. It's too bad. Segerlund's list would have been quite interesting. And that would actually be a list that has very strong play against the Skitari army. The town sure has a lot of firepower. Yeah, it's very sad that he couldn't attend. He played very well, but he called the TO 5 in the morning, said that he couldn't get up out of bed. So, but he feels better now, I've heard. So the Scorpius are tucking in behind a rock. Feels a bit like a replay from the first game we streamed yesterday. Then he also tucked in all 3 tanks behind a rock. And the setup from the Dark Angel seemed to be quite similar to the last game. But he's playing smart. He shouldn't expose anything as possible because this guitar army can shoot him off the table in one turn if he gets a chance. And like the last game, I'm very interested to see what the Dark Angel player has in mind. He's played very well, and team has proven that they have a lot of firepower. But can he shift? Can he shift this enormous blob of 120 Skitarii? The last tank placed in the top right corner. No surprise there. More Rangers. Normal bikes. Also tucking in behind that ruin. Trying not to expose anything. Very smart play. Manipulus in the middle of the Skitarii blob. Second Manipulus also next to the other Manipulus. And he also placed a Marshal in that huge blob of Skitarii. Who gets the first turn? Adeptus Mechanicus gets the first turn and the game is on. They're setting up command points. Dark Angel has 7. Is making the pre-game move with the Raiders. Just getting some additional distance on that objective. He's probably planning on stealing it by shooting off the infiltrators and then just having the Raiders stand on it. Second Raider squad. Okay, he changes his mind. He will not stand on the objective. He hide them in the ruins instead. I think he made a double move there. He first moved the Dogos onto the objective so that he capture it. And then he moves back behind the ruins with his second move. So now he holds the bottom right objective as well as the center, planning on stealing the top left objective. He moves up his Rangers with a scout move. More scout moves. always interesting when you play Adeptus Mechanicus and the Necron pre-game move double obsec lists. You spend 15 minutes just moving your miniatures before your turn even begins. So Rickard chooses to play +1 ballistic skill Doctrina. Yes, Paulie, there's this Admech list again. As I said, we will see it in the finals, and here it is. Second place, one point behind Tim's Dark Angels. And it's a ton of Skitarii. And he chooses the infiltrators to ignore the deprivation effect of the Doctrina, so they don't have -1 weapon skill. I suppose it's a... He chooses move and fire without penalty on the front squad of Skitarii. He gets the Manipulous buff with the extra range, 1 better AP, and Transhuman. So he improved the range with the Manipulous buff on the rangers on top. Yes, those markers are awesome. I will make a copy of them myself for my Adeptus Mechanicus list. It's the only way to keep track on everything. Otherwise you always forget a buff. He's checking targets for his rangers. He thinks he will probably target the speeder, since the flyers seem to be out of range. Okay, so he switched around the move and fire penalty going on the top unit of rangers, and ignoring to hit modifiers goes on the vanguards. He moves his doggos up and goes on the objective. Yes, playing Admech is a chore. There's so many buffs. But the good thing is we don't really need command points, because all of our buffs come from abilities. So he advances a vanguard unit straight up into the middle, probably to hold it when he moves away with his infiltrators, since he gave them ignoring the -1 to weapon skill due to his Doctrinas. I suppose he wants to sacrifice them and tie up the Black Knights. Richard is asking if he has any shenanigans with the strike last or anything like that. He does not. So Richard is committing his infiltrators to do a turn 1 charge. Richard is destroying the table and his minis. He's finishing the move now with the vanguards. The train is not fragile, it's just not stable. The Admech dudes. He's actually converted like all of his minis, removed some of the spiky stuff and replaced it with techno heresies like Tau weapons and stuff like that. So I don't know if his miniatures are that fragile, to be honest. But yes, Admech minis, they break. It's just a, it's just a way of life. It advances in another Skitarii unit into the building. Paulie, are you talking about the Admech army? Well, it could be worse, I guess. Yeah, it could be worse. The only thing that's expensive is basically the tanks. Otherwise, you will just have to buy 12 boxes of Skitarii, and then you basically have the list. I think he also uses converted scout bikes, so that makes it cheaper. And I think you can make the raiders even cheaper. But yes, this is the scout bikes are Cerberus raiders. It's basically Space Marine scouts, and it's make a quick head swap. So they have the Admech hoods. So it's going into shooting now, checking angles. He's twisting the minis to get more shots in. So 12 raiders will be able to shoot the infiltrators. He played 2 Manipuluses, and he also plays a Marshal. The Manipuluses has the lances. And the Marshal is just a standard issue buff Marshal. So 8 saves on the infiltrators. Welcome back, Henrik.
Thank you.
So welcome back to a shooty pattern.
Yeah, I figured. And once again, we have a house full of Dark Angels.
Yes. The setup looks very similar to the first game we streamed. Where they are, do you see this humongous blob in the house?
Yeah.
They're there somewhere. In the red and blue.
Yeah. Almost looks like, a beehive or something.
I think I can see one of the manipulators standing up on the top of the house.
Yep.
And the rest are just lost in the blob.
Oh, yeah. Sounds about right.
Let's see if we can find them. If we zoom in, I think the marshal is also standing there on the top, in the left corner of the building, top left corner.
It's the camera shifted again. Now we see like space on the top of the screen instead of on the bottom of the screen.
Don't think about the camera. Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
But if you ever wonder where the characters are in a Admech army, they are in the middle.
Yep.
So 12 additional saves.
Yeah. For me personally, I think like the Skitarii Marshal might be like the model of the year for me. It looks amazing.
You think it does?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit boring.
Nah, it's like the vibe around it and like the pose and the low key. Like,
Okay. So we have one infiltrator still alive. Now the raiders will try to finish him off. 1 save, -1. Saved, so he's still there. In one indirect fire into the last infiltrator. Rickard seems to not be able to stop moving that house.
yeah.
And there we had Fellman again.
Yeah. Our third contributor to the stream today, I guess.
Yes.
It's the loudest Age of Sigmar player that ever lived.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you heard that scream, that was through 2 walls, and he's in the other end of of the venue.
Yeah. I mean, he might as well be down at the gaming locale instead of the tournament venue.
Yeah.
We still hear him. I wonder though what happens that he like goes yeah so often. Like,
It's
is it-
usually just a normal,
yeah.
a
But, like,
normal
is
dice
there
roll.
like a super game-breaking thing that happens at once per hour or something? I've always wondered.
But I'm quite jealous. I also want to have those strong emotions over dices. But
Dice
then
and
it's-
plastic.
Yeah, but then you start playing Adeptus Mechanicus, and there's way too many dices to care.
Yeah. Dice is for the dice god. Tape measures for the tape.
So another range
Throw.
unit is shooting at attack bike tucked behind the rock. Another Fellman sound.
Yeah.
Go Fellman.
Now a word from our sponsor. Just a moment right here, one. Yeah. Felma ain't sponsoring us today. I
No.
guess. Except with his presence, of course.
Yeah.
So, sweep and clear the scenario. What's that about?
I can double check. I don't remember every single scenario.
Huh.
Well, nobody plays the special objective for sweep and clear, so it's just. Control 1, Control 2, and Control more. And they play direct assault. 3 victory points. Ah, right, this one. 3 victory points if you control the center objective, and 5 victory points if you control the center objective and the opponent's objective.
Ah, cool.
And you also get 3 victory points if you control the opponent's objective.
Okay.
It's a scenario Admech loves, because you can just throw in those super buffed Skitarii units that never die. And when we finally kills that, buff up another unit, throw it into the center.
I heard you say like super buff Skitarii units. I imagine like a couple of bodybuilders just walking around the lane, doing all the flexes.
Text-to-speech device custodians. Squalalala.
Yeah, we have every single buff in the game.
So 10 saves for the bike, I think. Ah, it was the big speeder. But the speeder is still going strong. Manipulus shooting his lance. Imperial's gun flesh is weak. Oh yes, it is. That was why next month I'm gonna implant my brain into a toaster. Boom! And the land speeder is dead.
Yeah.
He's looking for more targets. I'm not quite certain what this ranger squad is shooting at, because as far as I can see, everything should be in cover.
Maybe he just likes to roll dice.
He plays Admech. He can roll fewer dice. "11 wounds.
Wham.
Poof, another attack bike is dead. Okay, you could see that attack bike. Impressive.
Yeah.
Now we have a charge with the infiltrators into the Black Knights. I think he places them up on top of the building just so that they won't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, do we run up the building? Maybe he did.
Maybe.
After all, he has 5 inches engagement range up and down.
Imagine those guys just running up the wall. I always thought that it's sort of weird in Warhammer games that you can just run up and down walls like it's nothing.
But you remember the old rules for jump pack? If you wanted to enter the second floor of a building, it had to be a window, so that you could fly through the window.
But yeah, like wall running both in Age of Sigmar and 40k has always been a bit weird to me. Like, why would a Space Marine be able to scale a wall at the same speed as he would running?
suction cups.
I mean, you could have gone with magnetic boots, but who am I to judge?
This is the 41st millennium. We don't have magnetic boots. That's too high tech. Tech heresy.
It's actually part of the Space Marine standard equipment, but what do I know?
Tech heresy, I say.
Yeah.
So
But
let's
like-
see if he's gonna play an additional attack on these infiltrators, and then maybe also chain taser protocols,
Yeah.
because then he gets double exploding 5s and 6s, a lot of attacks, can probably, and they also have a great strength. We'll be wounding on 3+, if I'm not wrong. So we probably kill a few of those Black Knights. And if he kills some of those Black Knights, then he loses a lot of the plasma. So much less rapid fire plasma coming into this Skitarii. I must double check. I don't think they're by the table anymore.
Okay, well, they left the table for asking the TO for something, I guess.
I think they're discussing the charge at the moment, if you can charge up the building.
Okay. We need to cue like some Matrix clips of wall running and shit for this, I feel. Did you hear there's a new Matrix movie coming out?
Yeah, I heard that. I have seen nothing about it though.
Yeah.
I just heard the rumor and then nothing.
Yeah.
Ah, they are back.
Can you run up a wall though? Like, what are they discussing?
I'm not sure what they're discussing. It is charging into walls. And apparently there was a scenario for Tim with the exact same scenario, and then he was ruled against, apparently.
Yeah, they should go and ask the TO for the tournament, I guess.
They're double checking the rule book now. I'm pretty certain that you can charge into the wall and strike through the wall.
Okay.
But the question is that an old 8th edition rule that might not exist anymore?
Who
Or is
knows?
Or is it a 9th edition rule?
Yeah.
Because I've done charges like that.
So maybe you cheated?
Maybe. It has happened.
Yep. Like when you played Iron Hands.
That wasn't cheating, that was just OP broken.
We both know you don't feel good about it.
No, I feel dirty. Very, very dirty, and not in a good way.
So, predictions for the game. I think the Dark Angels doesn't have enough output to grind down this Skitarii.
I agree. Is the question if it fits? Is there room to place the model? Yes, they're discussing that as well. They're discussing wobbly model syndrome.
Yeah, they should really go and ask the tournament organizer to say time.
They already asked the.
Oh.
Men det är ju när du... Om jag hade stått här... Om jag hade stått uppe på kanten.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Det är det som...
Well, I'm gonna head over to the HMR side for a bit. So.
Do so. I will hold down the fort. So the judge is now by the table.
Nej, här står det. When charging that is up on or behind a ruined wall. Ja, men här, det var den vi missade. Det jag tror vi hittade, det stämmer. Ja. Det här, det var i början. Or behind a ruined wall.
The infiltrator charged the Black Knights on the other side of the wall, but they have found the rule now, so they're wrapping up this rule discussion. But this game will soon be on its way again. They're just... Because I think they're about to reach some sort of conclusion. Well, what do we think about this game? I think the Dark Angels will not have the firepower to remove the Skitarii from the table. I think the Skitarii will own the middle of the board all game. He will score 15 on direct assault. To the last, he can always save his to the last units in the back. I will go check.
hur de tänker. Men då kör vi som det står. Från VTC-facken spelar vi med. Så, att det, så är det.
Ja, då vet vi. Ja, det stod det behind the room.
Jag spelar exakt likadant. Om du inte kan.
Ja, all right.
They just resolved it, and everybody moved away and became silent when I came. So I do not exactly know what we're talking about, but we will probably have a interview after the game with both players, and then we can figure out what it was that happened. So there was quite a lot of wounds. 15 wounds to start with. Let's see. -1. Fino pains. So 6 of Fino pains from the apothecary. Four dead bikes. to. He seems to have a hard time choosing which bikes to remove. They seem to be thinking. So Rickard piles in. Staying stuck in with the Black Knights. So Richard starts off by getting 6 points. More or less. If they play a 10-10 and the third player completely crushes and gets a 20-0, then the third place can... Then he can go past them. But technically it's between these two guys. I don't see these armies playing 10-10. Yeah. We need to close to a draw here, and exactly. You're correct there. Jonas could tie with a 20-0. But then we will have tiebreakers. And I hope we don't come to that, and I don't think we will come to that. I am pretty certain that Richard will dominate this game. That ruin in his deployment zone, is in such a good place, so he can just keep on sending in obsex guitar units into the middle. He can even charge into the middle if he wants to, because he doesn't really care. As long as he can deny Tim from getting direct assault, then this game is in the bag. Because that castle he has up in his corner, there's so much firepower, so if he tries to take his objective in the top right corner, then that unit will be obliterated in a second. Sadly, I have no rumors. I can't even see the players, so... But as soon as I get someone in here, I can have them go and check, see how it looks. Richard is just telling Tim that he has another Vanguard squad ready to advance. Just so that he knows that if he goes up and charges into the Vanguards, there will be another Vanguards unit coming. Good sportsmanship, always nice to see. Yes, we all feel sorry that you're that your back broke, so to say. You could have given him a run for his money. You had the perfect list to crush this Admech list. So there's a little bit of thinking here. He's not certain what he wants to do, where to move. He realizes if he exposes himself, he will be shot to pieces. And right now he controls no objectives. He really needs to go out there and start controlling them. Not crush. Crush is the wrong word. Give it a run for its money. Bane, you can explain your list. Is a lot of indirect fire Eldari with some Drukhari mixed in. It's a very potent list. One could say it's almost like he teched against this list. So he goes out into the middle, probably to start thinning those numbers. There's Gervo. What happens normally when you're a 40k tournament and your opponent doesn't show up? Or it's an odd number of players? Because Mr. Bane, for example, fell out. The two things can happen. If your opponent doesn't show up at all at the event, the tournament organizer usually have some reservists that they can call in to play those games, just to fill out the ranks, so to speak. If your opponent does not show up, then he is late for the game or doesn't show up at all to the game, then he gets punished by losing points. And if he doesn't show up at all, then you automatically win 20-0. But that usually don't happen. In Sweden, people don't walk out of tournaments. I've heard that been a problem in many Las Vegas GTs and such, that if it doesn't go as they want, then they just walk out and leave a bunch of walkovers. But in Sweden, we stay. Rickard notifying Tim that he has 2 fallback and shoot abilities. One from his Manipulus and one from his Marshal. Or maybe it was put on one of his Ranger units, I'm not sure. But he notifies him that he has 2 fallback and shoot. Yes, this scenario is very good for Admech, and the terrain is almost built for him. As I mentioned earlier, he can just advance straight into the middle with the obsec, durable obsec unit that costs nothing. forcing Tim into an uneven trading game. And he had actually had two great scenarios for Adeptus Mechanicus. The first one was the first game, Data Intercept. That's also a built for Admech sort of game, pushing up the midfield, just controlling the buttons. The biggest difference, first of all, it's player skill. The first game is always completely random. So someone like Rickard, who is the best Admech in the world, can face off against a casual player if the casual player is unlucky. So it's mainly skill, but if you look at the composition of the armies, this army from the Dark Angels, it is faster, but it doesn't really matter for the Admech side. He has so many units that he can spread out. The Necron player he's actually a good player. He's been he has been retired for quite some years, but he's getting back into the hobby. So I think when he's up to speed with the rules and how dangerous Adeptus Mechanicus is with their shooting, I think it will be a name again, so to say. But the difference here between the Necron army and this Dark Angel speedy army is, first of all, the speed. Doesn't really matter in this scenario. You just want to go into the middle, and that's a game the Admech should win. The second is the fire output. The bikes have a lot of firepower, a lot of rapid fire plasma, a lot of multi-meltas. Then again, this is against a Skitari spamming Admech. You don't want multi-meltas. You would rather see something that shoots a Sicilian shots. So it's absolutely an uphill battle. And I think we're seeing an all-in here from the Dark Angel player. He realized that he can't stand in his ruins and hope to do good trades. He needs to go in, really punish the Admech player straight away, and try to get into his castle. Yeah, yes, Bolly. Billions, trillions, and gazillions of shots. What I guess will happen, he will probably blast away the Vanguard unit in the middle, maybe. Or he might be playing on, as I mentioned in the first game, with Admech, try to kill about 10 Skitari in every unit and hope for the morale checks. Because now he really needs to gamble. I don't know if the flyer dropped the bomb to prevent fallbacks, because I know he has a bomb that can prevent fallbacks. then that would be quite a good play, charging in, tying them up, surviving another round. I haven't heard anything about a new chapter approved for nerfing Admech either, but there's a lot of discussion going on the competitive Adeptus Mechanicus forums, and I spoke with Rickard earlier in the tournament, and we all say that Skitarii should be around 10-11 points a pop in order to balance them, because it would improve the internal balance of the codex. Then you would start looking at breachers again. But right now there's no reason to go past the page with the Skitarii options. Me too. I agree there, Bane. Committing everything into the middle. Now he puts himself in a really peculiar situation. He don't want to kill them. He want to charge in, tie them up. If he has dropped the bomb that prevents them from falling back, surviving another turn. But he will not prevent him from taking Stranglehold. Even if he shoots away them, all of the Skitarii this turn, there will just be new ones next turn. And there's a lot of firepower. All those tanks maybe they can't get line of sight, but there's still so many shots in that building. I don't know. I don't know if they have extra move on consolidates. True. He can still solar flare them out of there. But I'm still piling to ruin the force fallback. Well, he can pile in behind the wall, I guess. But sooner or later he will have to charge, like try to kill them, because he will always be outnumbered. Yeah, it's a single unit, once per game. Welcome back, Henrik. My co-host has returned.
I had to help Archeon do a creative pile, so
Okay.
like you had to apply some actual math when deciding if his base could fit or not. So.
Oh, impressive. Well, you're looking on an all-in from the Dark Angel player.
So like how wide is a circle if you go back from the center of the diameter 2 inches?
I failed basic math.
Yeah. Luckily I'm an engineer. Well, almost an engineer anyways.
Brag, brag, brag. Anyway, we have a game going on here. Let's see here. Calabriel, what did you say here?
Maybe it could touch more than one, but that requires a 19-something charge, as it looks.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But you still have a double fallback and shoot.
Yeah, I hope I got this voice right. It sounded... It came from the heart, you know.
Yeah, this very masculine
Yeah.
Swedish accents. But I like that he's not shooting the super buffed unit, he's aiming for the ones on the side, hopefully forcing some morals.
Yeah. A lot more action though than the Rickard game. They actually engaged and dedicated units.
Yes, but unless this does great damage, I'm afraid that we will see a very, very damaged Dark Angel player.
Interesting. Not many options then in this case. Well,
Yeah, not in this case when he's committed down the middle. But I still think playing the sides and not trying to deny the direct assault would be a better play.
Yeah.
But I'm not certain. He knows his army. He knows what it can do. And he's been playing very well, so I should probably not argue. As people who has followed the stream has noted, we do have wrong sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I can blame that I'm an Age of Sigmar player. What's your excuse?
I'm old and hungover.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
Mm.
Yeah, on the Age of Sigmar side, it looks like Archaeon list by Johan Dyrlin, the quite competent War Machine player, is in the top, facing off against the Stormcast player, Alexis Herbeck. But we also have some other Stormcast by Persig Values, and I can't actually remember who he faced. I think it's Anton Sandström with his Seraphon, the guy who won the last Quarantine Fanatic.
Ooh.
So it's a exciting lineup in the top.
So Stormcast is a thing again?
Yeah, Stormcast definitely is a thing. Like, the issue though on this tournament is that we're playing with a book that hasn't gotten its FAQ yet.
Ooh.
So like every single teleport ability in the game at the moment in Age of Sigmar is you can't move in the following movement phase. But Stormcast got a prayer that doesn't have that wording, making them like extremely alpha striking.
Oh, yeah, that sounds actually horrible. Yeah, we try our best. We love this game, so we want to share it with everyone.
Yeah.
I've dedicated like 20 years of my life to this game, so it's probably even more.
Yeah, probably. I started at 1999.
I think it's 96, 94.
Yeah.
When was Lemon Tree released?
Let's see. Just another
Lemon tree. And I wonder. The next GT will be. It depends. If you want to go on a team tournament, then we will have one in January in Stockholm.
I don't think or is it gonna be a team tournament? Like it's gonna be a trial run for the Grand Fanatic, but is it gonna be just a regular tournament maybe?
I have no idea. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have a tournament in Stockholm in January, and then we will have another.
In like May-ish.
Yeah, May-ish.
Here in Umeå. 5 people per team, I think.
Yeah, these are 5-man teams.
Yeah, I should know this. I attended the creation of that event.
Yeah, so but it is 5-man teams.
Both in Age of Sigmar and 40k. So
Yeah. And there will be a lot of great players. I've heard Hesselberg is really enthusiastic about that tournament.
yeah. And I mean, even if you don't have a team, you could probably
Find a
find
team.
a team of other people who want to join up that doesn't have a team.
Yeah.
So 1995 Lemon Tree came out.
So they've been playing since '95.
Yep.
Darn, I'm old.
Yeah. And that's enough for not getting us demonetized.
Otherwise, I will start singing.
I wonder why.
The dark angel shot Sam's guitar his face, and all that I can see.
You literally have a plane on board and you didn't rhyme something with sky. And I am disappointed, Kim.
That's true.
You boys putting up a list for freelancing ringers? Yeah, sure, when the event starts getting closer, I guess.
That's actually a good idea. We haven't thought about that one. We could. That would be actually a very good idea.
Yep. It would be like either a dating ad or something like, I am a lone Drukhari player looking for some love in a team. I like long walks along the beaches and dominating other opponents.
I use a double Macarian list with a broodlord to swing them in. So I'm looking for someone to complement my list.
Yeah. The first thing I look in a partner is Someone who doesn't play Space Marines. Yeah, like for sure. There's gonna be more info there, like in a bit. It's the main guy that's organizing the 40K event is the man one needed to talk to, you know. Ah, there we have it.
Oh. Gearwood, that is just lovely lyrics.
I wonder
why. How was
How's
Gary
Gary?
playing good shot, and now they will die.
Yeah, our singing talent.
I've actually worked in a karaoke bar. And the Raiders on the side is dead, but that doesn't really matter because he already controls that objective. And in this scenario, you control it even when you're not on it.
Yeah. So basically, like Age of Sigmar.
Like Age of Sigmar.
This is my game now.
I understand.
It doesn't feel like the Dark Angels player has dealt that much damage, so am I missing something?
He's not dealt that much damage. I think he has almost killed one Skitar unit and one Raid unit. He plays 6 20-man blobs, so he have plenty of more bodies to throw into this battle. And sure, some of them will run, probably, but it doesn't really matter. He can just advance them, make them play other things, and they still have a lot of firepower, a lot of range. And we must also remember that they still have the doggos in the ruins to the far right, so you can just pop up with them whenever he wants.
Yeah, a lot of players having PTSD from the doggos.
Yeah. The good old days when you couldn't change the target.
Yeah. Like I remember more than one Harlequin player the last time we had this GT. Like, we're gonna charge the doggos, and they're like, nope.
Or orc players.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dark Angel, the Dark Eldar player from
Yesterday.
Yeah, the third game, he really doesn't like the doggos.
I played so many games against Ludde with my doggos. I bet he gets like flashbacks every time he sees a greyhound.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we have the best in show voting thing up, but Andreas voted in Swedish, but I'm sure you guys can click the translate button and figure out what to press. Let's see here. There we go. Where do I share this thing? There we go. Copy link and that should be it. So if you feel like checking out the best in show, that's the poll for whoever won, as well as a link in the description there with a link to the images of the armies.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Let's see here. Calabriel. Could the Dark Angel player shards Guitaria but place models close to the other objective with send move and pile onto it inside of the ruin? So you mean he should charge past them? Like charge past the Skitaria and then place them up there. The problem is with Skitaria is that they're so mobile, even if you tie them up. And the middle unit is just bait. because he has reservists for them as well. He will hold that objective all day. Oh, no. Do you mean the objective in the top left or the top right?
I guess.
Well, if he gets a really long charge, but he needs to end. When he piles, he needs to pile toward the closest enemy unit, and he doesn't have anything up there anymore, so he cannot pile over there. Ah, no, there's nothing there. There were three doggos, but they were killed by the Meltas. But yes, that could have been a plan. Quite a clever one. Like conga line the bikes, so one of them are closer to the doggos and then pile into the objective.
Yeah, and now Andreas posted the thingy for Age of Sigmar, I believe, so we can vote for the Age of Sigmar armies as well.
And the Age of Sigmar armies are so beautiful.
Yeah. And there's the link to the Age of Sigmar armies.
This is just Gabriel. This is an interesting game.
I mean, it's the grand final for the GT, so
yeah, they are always interesting.
yeah.
So this guitar attacks back to the bikes. Okay, this guitar got attacked. 3 dead. As I said, those guitar units way too tanky. So tanky. Let's see if we can cause some more damage. So 6 wounds. Seems like 5 killed. Pile in. The test guitar ran away. Only 1 though. The other unit also flee. Another 2 flee. The last guitar unit also flees. And he loses a couple of more. So we're done with scoring 21-2, heading into the second round. The doctrine nameplay is the plus armor, minus 3 inches move. Very good choice here, because now he just want to tank this Dark Angel list and then just shoot it until submission. He could fall back with the vanguards in the middle through the ruined wall and then just kill off those two Black Knights, unless he has the bomb on them that forces them to stay. The Manipulus advances. He's planning on solar flaring them, I guess.
Solar flaring, that's like his special weapon thingy, right?
No, teleport.
Ah.
He picks up himself and a unit, and then he can deep strike them anywhere.
Strange name for it, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting name. But I think it's portrayed like a beam of light from the sky. I think it's called the solar flare. I'm quite certain it's called the solar flare.
I see.
So now he's throwing all the buffs on the next unit of vanguards who are hiding behind the wall. Ready to send them into the meat grinder. The Manipulus runs up, solar flares them. Exactly what I thought. If I hadn't placed them there, then the attack bikes could easily just advance up and take over that objective.
Yeah.
Now he actually need to commit some firepower to killing off those vanguards.
Well, isn't Mechanicum all about firepower, though?
No, it's not. The Dark Angel player needs to commit a lot of firepower to killing those rangers.
That way. Yeah, true.
Because the attack bikes can't really punch them in melee hard enough. And I don't know if you want to run with his Black Knights over there, if they even live after this. I think they're so dead. He will probably move out with his tanks as well, shoot down the airplane, removing that pesky bomb.
Yeah.
Now we can do a lot of 300 quotes. We are about to die, salute you. Ho, ho, ho.
That's a gladiator.
Is that Gladiator?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, that's even more fitting.
My name is Gladiator.
I remember that I liked that movie.
Yeah, it's great. Hans Zimmer soundtracks.
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah. The same as from The Rock, you know. The Rock. It just has one soundtrack, but it's amazing.
It's like one song going on repeat for 1.5.
Yeah. I mean, it carried freaking Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage through that movie, so why not? For tonight we dine in hell. That's the 300 one. Spartans, lay down your arms. Or why am I sound like Schwarzenegger? Lay down your weapons, and then Persians, come and claim them. Oh, 300, such a meh movie, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a terrible freaking movie, but it's really, really entertaining.
Yeah. It's sort of like watching Pacific Rim. You just sit there, think that it's amazing, but if you think too hard about it, It's really bad.
Yeah, but the Pacific Rim is a great movie. It's big monsters fighting big robots. Just have a beer, chew down on some popcorn. Great movie.
Yeah, and like all the sounds and stuff. It really thrives on the epicness of the movie.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's a
Oopsie
fun
daisy, professional,
film. Yeah.
professional as I am.
Interstellar also has a really good soundtrack.
Yeah,
I
Interstellar
agree.
has a very good soundtrack.
Although like Gladiator, the soundtrack there, it's like the best of the best he did for The Rock, but like actually a soundtrack for a movie and not just random clips in action scenes.
Yeah.
I can't believe I thought that movie was good when I was a kid though. Yeah, well, it's a decent movie, but it's more a comedy than an action movie at this point.
Which movie?
The Rock.
It's a comedy.
Uh,
It's like seeping with American nationalism.
yeah,
Oh, patriotism, excuse me.
well, potato.
Okay, so it manages to touch the middle objective with one single model. After doing a bit of a mistake with his first guitar moving unit, first moving them, then moving another unit, then
So he needs to kill all the bikers to claim that objective then?
I think he needs to kill all the bikers.
Huh.
Could be a problem.
Yeah. Especially if he starts killing like a few of the first ones, then line of sight is gonna become more and more of an issue.
Sure, he has a lot of indirect fire, so he could just shoot the missiles into the airplane, and then artillery bomb the bikers that are tucked in behind the wall. And
Yeah, but aren't those guys like Black Knights? Aren't they super tanky? Or have I missed something?
they're tanky, but we're talking Adeptus Mechanicus shooting
yeah,
here.
that's true. Nothing is tanky enough.
Nothing is tanky enough. He will need to roll so many armor saves, so eventually he will fail them.
Yeah.
Oh, he has some sneaky infiltrators hiding in the ruin, the bottom right corner. Completely missed those. The Cerberus Raiders are poking out their noses. He advances. Get closer to the objective. And he's having a bit of a think. Probably thinking about how we will remove those bikes behind the cover. Trying to find line of sight with the boat. He should have exactly has line of sight with the first boat. And now we have line of sight with okay, he couldn't see anything, so he moves it back to see the flyer. He places the marshal in the middle of in the corner of the building. He moves down with the Rangers from the top floor. With an advance. So start shooting the flyer with the Manipulus. Hit. 1 wound. Goes through. Look, the face is back in the
Yeah.
crater.
This side it looks like Pengu, if people remember that one. Like a haunted Pengu, staring into our souls.
He pays command points to shoot harder with his Rangers.
I'm gonna go and check on the Age of Sigmar side, so
Do so, good luck.
thank you.
And bring me coffee when you return. So 30 shots straight into the Black Knights. 4 of them can't see. I think that's the goal. To kill all the bikes. It was the it's Vanguard shooting enriched rounds. So here comes auto wounds. Two misses. Where all the Admech went. The Admech is still on the table. He didn't lose that much. But he has teleported some of it up into the upper left corner. And he's moved out with a lot of it and spread it out a bit more. Three dead. That was probably not what he wanted. Though he's tucked in even more behind the building. I think this is still the same salvo. 7 saves. 12 saves in total. And he's so dead. Okay, first unit wiped. Now it's just the indirect fire into the bikes. And he's golden. Unless he wants to charge the bikes. That could also be... No, he advanced. He can charge in with the bike, charge in on the bikes. He will probably indirect fire the last bikes. Rangers into attack bikes. Check and range, see if you can... A few of them could shoot the bikes behind the cover. 4 saves. Oh, he failed 2 saves. And I see Rickard is trying the stability of our table by leaning on it really hard. So additional 10 saves on the attack bikes. One dead, and I think one took a wound. Or maybe feel no pain. Nope, and one took a wound. Apparently something can see the bikes. Okay, some of them can see the bikes. There were no photos on the Admech army. I will ask Henrik see if he can arrange some photos later. Richard had probably not... for some reason it wasn't judged apparently. Or maybe it didn't make it into the best in show. But I will ask Henrik, see if he has some pictures of it. As soon as he comes back from his Age of Sigmar duties. Okay, so heavy stubbers into the attack bikes, and I think it's the missiles into the flyer. Failed 3 saves. Okay, 2 went through. I think he said it was 4 wounds on the flyer. Now the stubbers. The next Scorpius who only can see the flyer. Okay, so stubbers into the bikes. So stubbers and missiles into the bikes in the middle. And indirect fire, I think it is into the attack bikes. It seems like another dead attack bike. Well, this is what we were talking about when he did the all-in into the middle. He didn't do any damage, and now he need to face all the firepower of the Admech army, and he can't really hide from it. He will be completely obliterated. Missiles and stubbers from the last into the flyer, and then indirect fire into the bikes. Okay, I think he switched it now. One save failed. It was indirect fire on the attack bike. Missiles into the flyer. Three hits on the flyer. And he saves it. That's good. He really needs to keep his guys alive from this barrage. And it is really demoralizing when you're receiving when you are on the receiving end of an Admech army and they get to shoot with everything at you, because you just roll armor save after armor save after armor save, and eventually you fail. So he's splitting fire into the attack bike and into the flyer. It is tough. It's a Space Marine flyer after all, and he haven't sunken that much firepower in it, to be honest. The flyer ain't that important for him. Yes, I think he's fired all the Scorpiuses. Killing a few attack bikes. So I actually I think those bikes behind that rune is safe. Yes, it's a chaplain, Primaris chaplain on bike in the lower left corner, together with whatever the master of the Ravenwing is called. Yeah, Samael. I always mix up Samael and Belial. Yeah, exactly, on a jet bike. Okay, we shot with everything, and the Rangers actually managed to destroy the aircraft with the last salvo. Two fast characters. We have the Talon Masters as well. I'm not sure what he's doing now. Ah, he charged. He charged the unit onto the objective. Yeah, he has two fast characters, or four speedy characters left. Either he goes into hiding or he will be tabled next turn. Yeah, he charged to take the objective. Both of them charged to take the objective. Calabrial, we all want the brightly colored armies on streams. Playing on a desert table was actually we choose the desert table because we know many armies are just dark and gritty, so we would have a good contrast with the miniatures. Also, we wanted terrain that sticks out from the table, so that you viewers have an easy time identifying things. Yeah, Bane, we discussed that earlier. And that was just what happened. He went into the trap. Oh, you're painting a turquoise. Turquoise is a great color. It's one of the favorites here in Umeå. Turquoise and orange is a great combination. So team scores 5 on the primary. Now they're discussing the game. They know it's over. Alpha Legion. Alpha Legion are great. Okay, crap on the table, but I love the lore. And yeah, really easy to spot. The game is, they haven't shooked yet, but the game is technically over. He has 2 bikes, 4 characters. Admech still has all its firepower left. So they're starting to discuss the lists a little bit. But now he's in. Ooh. Grimmer, the dark turquoise. I saw this. I think it was a Danish painter. She painted dark turquoise on silver on her knights. And she did a mix of like the blue, the green, the yellow to give it this almost gasoline look. It looked really nice. I had to ask her how she did it. Really simple, looked amazing. They're discussing the clock a bit. I think the Dark Angel player is considering sending Samael up north. And we need to remember he still has infiltrators in the... Rickard still have infiltrators in the bottom right corner and dogs in the ruins in the middle to the right. So he's still got a few pieces to play with. Up. Whoop, that was close. So let's see. A bit of indecisiveness. Is he falling back? Well, I play Adeptus Mechanicus, so I'm always happy to see the Admech crush. Rickard is explaining his current doctrina, that he has +1 to the save characteristics. You know what I mean. Oh yes, Calabrial. The Admech is great, but the Iron Hands lists were just abusively good. You could build a shitty list with Iron Hands, it would still kick ass. Well, Admech is far from unbeatable. I see Tim just have a bad matchup here. He's a bit too elite for this. He's planning a charge there. A lot of indecisiveness here. I think he fell back with the bikes in the middle. And he's he's making them angry with his chaplain. I can't really hear what he's saying. There's a lot of background noise at the moment. So the Talamaster swoops in. Probably going to try to kill. There's a lot of small units left there. It's far from, as Bane said, it's far from impossible. But you need, it's one of those matchups, kind of like the old Gene Stealer cult. You really need to know what you are doing. But losing games is a good thing. Because only by losing can you actually learn something. So Paul, in principle, you're keeping your armies and battle plan top secret. You know, if it ends up being anything like an internet list, then everyone will be very disappointed. Correct, Firefly. More GG equals more skill. If you learn something from your defeat, eventually you will be unbeatable. Basically, yeah. Crippler. Because if you just win in your local meta and then you go somewhere else, then you will probably meet something that you cannot beat. And all of a sudden, you must start learning. Okay. Yeah, I read through your list, Bane. It's a monster. Really anti-meta. Okay, so he's falling back to his back objective again. So he's managed to get 2 units on the middle objective. Planning on a charge on the top north objective. Shooting. The Talon Master is shooting something. A lot of background noise right now. Galadriel, the BCP app is a fickle lover. Sometimes it wants you, other times it just ignores you. So let's see what this Talon Master can do. Reroll, everything hits according to tradition. Oh, that. So 3 wounds. Okay, he shot into the Skitari in the middle, killing 2 of them. Richard got a phone call, I think. So the assault cannon kills another 3. Yeah, it's a good play. Having the Talamaster touch the ruin so that you can shoot into the Skitari. And I would say it still looks a bit interesting. Richard is losing a lot of Skitari now. Now it doesn't feel done yet. The firepower from those Ravenwing characters surprises me every single time. Because many of his units are reduced to like half strength and even below half strength, some of them. And he has the speed. If you can thin him out even more, then he can just speed out, grab the objectives. Sure, Tim needs a bit of a luck, but this is still a game, absolutely. Also, if Samuel makes the charge onto the topmost left objective and starts chopping up some of those Skitari, and stays lucky so that it doesn't fail any armor saves, this could be a game. He might even be able to, if the Talon Master survives this the next turn. Let's see, is that 3 bikes in the middle right ruin? No, it's bikes, but it's Cerberus Raiders. So it's actually Admech units, and he has an infiltrator unit in the bottom right corner, I think. I can actually double check. Yes, I've double checked now. He has infiltrators in the bottom right ruin as well. One dead Skitari. So he's trying to shoot out the small unit of Skitari so that it can't walk in on the objective with obsec. The BCP app is probably the best invention ever for tournament organizers. Yeah, you can absolutely Bane. If you speak Swedish, then you should check out the Fantasia North podcast. probably not the only Swedish competitive 40k podcast out there. I would argue that I would, Poly Principle, I would argue that I would rather play on the floor than play with metal miniatures again. So plastic is probably the best invention. And injection molding. So we charge in with the Talon Masters into this Skitarii, and with the Chaplain into this Skitarii in the middle. Oh, that was a terrible roll. Only one wound. I think Talon Masters has their own box, or at least an upgrade kit. But you could just as well just use normal speeders, like put the sword on one of the dudes, and voila, you have a Talon Master. So Samael punches out another 2 or 3 Skitarii on the objective. Whoa, that's whiffy. 2 hits. Two wounds. 1 Skitarii in the build dies. Rickard allows him to shoot at the infiltrators still hiding in the ruins. So he uses taser protocols on the infiltrators hiding in the bottom left ruin, so that he gets exploding 6s on 5s. It is quite a fight back. Was the same in the last game. I will try to drag both of them in for an interview. I will ask Tim about this game and his previous game, because he has some impressive firepower in this army. So this Skitarii is punching back at the Talon Master. Bane. I would probably not call the host sexy beasts, but yeah, sure, why not? If anything, they're very, very enthusiastic about the hobby. They are very enthusiastic about the hobby, and they want to promote it as much as possible. And give people tips on how to improve their game. Richard is asking if he has something that will prevent him from falling back. Start with morale tests. The top left corner flees. 2 more dead. The Scorpiuses really need to do some heavy lifting now. Sure, the entire army can fall back and shoot, but or most of the army at least. Welcome back, Henrik, and thank you very much for the coffee.
No worries. What's happening?
The Dark Angels made. Sorry, everybody. I will give Henrik a recap. The Dark Angels counterpunch sorta kinda backfired, but he's putting up a good fight. He's reduced many of his guitar units to like below 25% fighting strength.
Okay.
Samuel, the jet bike man, has managed to charge up on the top left objective, killing almost all Skitauri on the objective. Sadly, not enough. So we have another interesting fight. So they scored. I would need to double check team's score, because I wonder if he didn't get engaged there. Richard goes up 15 on the primary.
Yeah, the terrain is really awesome for the tournament. Spent a lot of time prior to the tournament sitting with the other organization, just painting it up. Well, they painted it, I was more of a builder for the train, I guess. Yeah, Ravenwing feels really solid, but who knows?
I double checked the points with the players. Apparently we have missed quite a lot, because it's 17 to Tim and 51 for Richard.
You're not even close, man.
I'm a professional.
Yeah.
So we will just change the total so they are correct. Ignore the secondaries.
Yeah, I agree. Like, a lot of things when building armies, depending what is good, is like what you're supposed to face in the meta. Mistake a lot of people do is that they just look at their own units and don't really think about what they might face. So,
Like the Bane's list we talked about earlier, it is only teched against the meta.
yeah.
Everything that ain't an infantry struggles with terrain. So yes, the bikes struggle some, but in some scenarios, if you only play a win-loss system, for example, rather than the 20 system we play, then you can like scooch around hug the fields, like the edge of the board, and then just pump a ton of bullets into your enemy, and then go in for the kill at a later stage of the game. But here, both of them know that they need to score, preferably quite big to avoid getting submarined by someone behind them.
Yeah.
Rickard at least, I think he wants 15 points to feel safe.
Yeah, something like that. But he's in a quite massive lead right now, so I think he might just manage.
Yeah, he's in a massive lead, and I think the lead will only get bigger from here. But you never know, a little bit of bad luck, and all of a sudden he misses, doesn't wound. Richard on track for 100. Yeah,
Not impossible.
not impossible. I love when the chat do the work for me, informing people. Oh, hello Nalle. Nice to see you.
Aw, only 97. Poor Skitari.
Okay, so Richard is he considering falling back so that he can move up and shoot, or he's falling back. Is there only 3 Skitari left? Yes, only 3 Skitari. Saving 1 to touch the middle objective. Still holding it. Due to objective secure. Richard is asking how many wounds the primary spike has. Don't read our secondary scores.
They are.
They are wrong.
Yeah, we could just hide them, to be honest.
Yeah, we can hide them so people won't be confused. There you go. We will give you the totals.
We use OBS Studios with, well, it's basically just an overlay. You design it yourself and then fill in the info you want, and you can like switch around screens and scenes, etc. It's a quite nifty program. I do recommend it.
And it's very easy to learn.
Yeah,
Very easy to use, very easy to learn.
yeah,
Lacks some functions, like a zoom function.
yeah,
But apart from that, it's a great program. It's free.
yeah.
So absolutely, if you want to stream anything, like if you want to stream you playing Nintendo 8-bit, download OBS Studios. It's a very neat little program.
Oh, 8-bit stream. I'd watch that.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, I know. I do watch them. Yeah.
Aren't we working on one of those?
Well, ish.
Yeah, the homepage where all of our tournaments. It will probably hold all our content as well.
Yeah. Well, the only recommendations I really have is have a really good microphone.
Yeah, you need to invest in a good microphone.
Yeah. Like, sound is more important than video at that point, to be honest.
Well, sound is more important.
Well, yeah.
To a certain degree, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we do allow non-players to walk around. See if somebody would want to cover something on the tournament, sure, just waltz in and talk to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just don't like disturb the people who are playing for time on during the game, but like during lunches and whatever, you can always grab people and just ask for a small interview. I'm sure people would be like thrilled if somebody wanted to talk to them about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
So he will indirect fire the last bike. And it's dead. Now the back boss objective is open. He will absolutely max out stranglehold. No, direct assault, sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tim, it's on 30 minutes until you're free.
Woo!
You can have the key to your shackles then.
I want out of my cage. Absolutely, you're welcome. If people want to come here to interviews, that would be great. We're
Yeah. Like now during the pandemic, it might be a bit weird for some countries and like maybe not have too many people at venue, but it feels like Sweden is coming out of the pandemic quite well. Like literally everyone is vaccinated, and well, not literally everyone, but vast majority is vaccinated, and
like almost everyone has at least the first shot.
yeah, and
And
people
even-
are like taking hand hygiene really seriously, and
And we're
You-
Swedish. We
yeah.
always keep our distance.
it's like social space. Isn't that what you mean? Normal day life, I mean.
Yeah. When they put up the recommendation, we were like, "Oh, we need to change nothing."
Yeah. PSA: you don't walk within 2 meters of a Swede. They will get weirded
Nervous.
out by it. Yeah. Yeah. You know, here in North, everyone carries a knife. If you come within stabbing distance, it's on your own responsibility there, you know.
And we just dare go too close to someone during hunting season.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's what we ride to school.
Yep. I mean, how else do you get through the ice zombies?
Exactly. Down in the bottom right, absolutely nothing, I would say. It's a, dice box, I think.
Yeah, it's a TT combat terrain feature. I believe that's like a minor gothic corner or something. I assembled a lot of those.
He used to, Richard used to have some infiltrators in the bottom right corner, but now they run up towards the center, together with the Cerberus Raiders that was in the middle right ruin.
Towards the haunted face.
And towards the haunted face. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
On the objective,
Oh,
it's Cerberus Raiders. It's
Yeah.
it's a converted Scout Marine
Yeah.
bike, I think.
I mean, Cerberus Raiders are freakishly expensive, so
Yeah,
I
they're-
get it.
I think I bought 5 boxes of those.
Ooh.
Yes, I like to punish my wallet. It's a
Yeah.
naughty wallet.
Yeah.
So the turn is over. and they're mumbling away from the mic, so I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah. So start of turn 4 then, or?
Yes, it should be the start of turn 4 now, and I will double check the points according to tradition.
According to tradition. So, let's see. The live best in show has been counted, so I actually know who won that, but there's still a lot of votes left, or well, time for voting left on the online version.
So a little bit of updated points here, 58 to 22. Staying in combat in the middle, you mean with the Skitari and the Talon Masters? Because he's staying in combat there, probably to avoid them shooting at the tank. But in the middle he pulled back, I think.
I also thought like having a captain and a land speeder was weird though.
Haven't you seen the meme? Drive me closer, I want to hit
Yeah.
them with my sword.
Like when Samuel is in the land speeder, it's strange.
I remember the good old days when Samuel had 14-14-10 armor.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. And he always died by some deep striking Imperial Guard veterans, just pew!
Yeah.
Dead in a second. But yeah, he stayed in combat in the middle, probably just to tie up the Talon Masters. But I think he has a stratagem to fall back and shoot.
Pew pew.
So he falls back into the middle. Oh, he had a sneaky marine standing in the ruin.
Ooh.
You need to buy an X-ray camera.
Yeah, indeed.
We will give all the players cancer.
Yeah. And we're not gonna direct it at the board, we'll direct it on the overview. That would get some views, wouldn't it?
That's edgy. That's how you get the views.
Yeah.
So he leaves combat with one of the Talon Monsters and stays in combat with the other one. Oh, okay. I have no idea, to be honest. As I said, we get a lot of background noise from the mic by the table, so it's quite hard to hear what they're saying when they're not facing the mic. Something we will fix to next time.
Yeah. It's our first time, okay.
Maybe that could be an idea. Then I don't know if Rickard have anything else apart from that tank on the top right objective. But Rickard is still controlling all the other objectives. So I don't think it would matter that much. Okay, so some shooting later, and we have a whole bunch of Skitari dead. So he shoots into the last Skitaris and the infiltrators with the assault cannon. And I think he said heavy flamer, but I doubt it. Well, that would be very rough. But the question is, will Rickard have to the last in the end? There he can lose 15 points.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, like this game is basically positioning, and then you learn how to play the army.
Yeah. Like most miniature games.
Yeah, like even to say chess, for example, it's like that.
Well, chess is only positioning.
Yeah. Nah, my queen survives the hit on a 5-up.
Well, that would be some chess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like chess in the 41st millennium, I don't remember what it's called now, but anyways, the Primarchs play it, and it's like the chess pieces are identical to our chess, except they can like throw frag grenades and do supporting fire and shit. There's
Is that from a novel?
yeah, everyone there. Somebody also made a game around. I think it's on Steam.
What?
Regicide, I believe it's called.
Regicide, I need to check that out.
It's like how to describe 40k chess. It's our chess rules, but like with crack grenades and invo saves and Overwatch and stuff. What's fight to the last?
What's his fight to the last? It's the Skitari blobs, and I think that's that.
Yeah.
I think it's just the Skitari blobs. 3 of the Ranger squads.
Yeah. The current score is 22 to 58.
Yes.
And secondaries, who knows? They are quite focused on the game at the moment, so we don't want to go and disturb them.
Yeah. But the Dark Angels have done some severe damage to the Admech.
Yeah, surprisingly much actually.
But they're still lagging behind in
yeah.
victory points.
And like both armies are on the last legs, but
Yeah, so Henrik has duties to do. Age of Sigmar is calling Henrik, so we'll be alone for a while. Let's see what Samuel is planning. So we seem to have a decision. One miss. Three saves. I'm not quite certain what they are doing right now, if they're shooting into close combat or... Oh, it was the fight phase. Now it's time for morale. Pile in. Okay, Richard still have some melee attacks to do into Samael. Seems to be 2 wounds left on Samael. Time for morale. He flees with the first Skitarii unit, leaving 2 Skitarii. And the last infiltrator turns. So we have some updated score. 77 versus 27. So Richard is moving closer and closer towards that 100. So he scoops away his army. Yeah, it's the 4 characters left, and it's been that since turn 2, I think. But those 4 characters are sure putting up a fight. That's why you never give up, never surrender. Uh, 27 versus 77. So team has 27 points, Richard has 77. So right now we have a 18-2 victory, something like that. But we're not done yet. He still has those tanks that can really destroy those last few characters.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Like, it's also a reason why I really enjoyed having like a 20-0 system in Age of Sigmar. When we used to play like the pure win-loss that was in the General's Handbook, people would basically play one turn and then like, nah, I can't win this anymore, and concede because you couldn't score anything. Now you can actually play for losing as little as possible to still keep your ranking in the tournament. So we see a games that actually gets played until the final round. I freaking love it.
Like all games are played into the final round, because you can always sneak in a few points and change the outcome.
Yeah.
So team need 5 points to not lose second place. We will not tell him that. Tiebreakers are wins and losses, I think. Then it's power. The
Strength of schedule or
yes, yeah, exactly, strength.
something like that. Andreas know he's the tournament organizer for.
Yeah, we don't
PSA.
need to know that. We're just the talent.
Yeah. And it looks like the Age of Sigmar tournament has soon concluded. There's just a few games left.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I think the 40K side is also winding down. Some are done with their games at least.
Yeah.
I see people walking around looking all relaxed. So it's Guitar Unit trying to kill the last little pesky marine. Oh right, we forgot that little marine just standing there, minding his own business.
The littlest of marines. Yeah, but I mean, say if somebody would play 4 super huge wins and then play just 1 point a loss, and then somebody who does 5 times winning by 1 point, I personally would say the one who scored 4 massive wins actually deserves the spot, because the other guy basically just clawed at it to get the tiniest of wins. But yeah, I mean, in a perfect system, it would be the person that did get like the best big wins and only one that would win the tournament. But like, I don't think any sports works like that. Not even like the big ones like football. You could lose games in the group play and then just tank it out until the finals, and you would win the tournament. So yeah, it's like they each have their ups and downs. It's just that I really prefer the 20-0 system.
I would also like a pimpiest play award.
So
Like this year, it would go to the gargantuan killing
Scarbrand.
Scarbrand.
Yeah, like we can just tell it. Sorry if you already heard it. On the Age of Sigmar side, there's this really rude list. 4 Mega Gargants pimped out with everything, faced a younger corn player who has a Scarbrand. 2 Mega Gargants, 1 of a Gatebreaker with like a 5-up negate and all the swag. Charge into Scarbrand with the objective giant from the Taker tribe. The Gatebreaker strikes Scarbrand. Leaves Scarbrand on 2 wounds, so he's fucking pissed on his like how hard he hits and stuff. Scarbrand hits, kills the Gatebreaker. The other Gargant hits 2 wounds Scarbrand. Does nothing. Scarbrand piles in again. Kills the Taker tribe Gargant, I believe. And then in Scarbrand's own turn, he charges into a third Taker tribe Gargant and kills that as well. So a lone Scarbrand that got charged by something kills 1500 points worth of Gargants.
Hashtag balanced.
Yeah.
Or just incredibly lucky.
Yeah, it's true, but like the system, even if you get a stomp game first game, if you didn't get it and still won like a decent-ish victory, if you play well during the tournament, you're gonna end up on table 1, where you will have to defeat the other person that's close to you. So it will be a clear winner of the tournament.
Like Rickard, he was in 4th place, like the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Clawed his way up to the 2nd place now, and now he's taking the win
Yeah.
from the guy who were on top place.
Yeah. So these are the 2 top players facing each other in the finals. Like, I think the system works, to be honest.
Yeah.
An issue though, like the biggest issue I personally think with pure win-loss is that it leads to armies that are basically meant to just score points, don't care anything about denying anything, and just win by a few points and get, the lowest amount of points you could win with in a pure win-loss tournament is the best, because you'll be looking for those like down pairs and stuff. So yeah, I like
it doesn't promote interaction with the other army in the same way as the 20-point system does. because you need to deny,
Yeah.
and denying is like half the battle. Okay, the tank charges Samael.
Yeah, it's the inverse. Driving closer to with my sword now, I guess.
Come closer, so I can hit you with my sword.
That you always win. Huh. Yeah, that seems like the optimal system.
Well, play first edition Age of Sigmar. Use what is it? The Screaming
Yeah,
Bell and
Kairos.
Kairos combo.
Yeah, that was like, oh god, first edition Age of Sigmar. Could auto win the first thing that happened in the game.
That is a sneaky tactic, Calabriel.
Yeah. Seems like an oversight that might be fixed until future tournaments. But yeah, basically the 20-0 tournament, the longer you stay in the tournament, the more equal matches you will get. And like the final game is always the best one.
Yeah, and it's always quite close. Not this time though.
Yeah, but
But usually especially if you are not a strong player, then the fourth and the fifth game in the second day will be the absolute best games.
yeah. To saying that I could have avoided killing all my roommates if I had known about it. Good to know.
So that's what's smelling under your bed.
Yeah. You looked under my bed. Yeah, it looks like Alexis Herbeck did beat Johan Dyrlind in the final game and will take home the Age of Sigmar tournament by 2 points, if I'm not wrong.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go and say grats.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go and attend my Age of Sigmar duties.
So back into the game. So Richard only managed to remove one of the Talon Masters. Piles in onto the objective. So we're soon coming up on that last round, last turn. Seems to be a lot of indecisiveness here again. What to do? We're all plastic addicts. That's fine as well. You spend the most time with the hobby aspect, to be honest. So if you love it for the hobby, good for you. And I'm really glad that you're watching our stream. So we have a fallback. positioning the... he's trying to score engage, so he moves the chaplain away from the objective. He can't score it anyway. The best he can do is contend it. You can't find any love for glue and sprue? You should really try kit bashing. Quick way to make really interesting molds. Oh, I thought it was coffee I was drinking. Oh, it wasn't coffee. Ugh. So the chaplain advances back into cover. So Samuel is hiding to get engage on the top left hand side, chaplain bottom left side, and then the last Talon Master in the top right side, scoring some additional points. So it looks like Tim actually will be able to keep his second place. Oh right, you shared the Grey Knight. It looked amazing. Paint that army and bring it here. Now! One dead Skitari from Talon Master. Still 27-77. I don't really want to disturb them at the moment. I will ask them when this is done. This is the end of turn 4. I try to get the points from them, but they are so focused on the game right now that I can't really disturb them. But this will be a quick round, and then I will try to drag them in for a quick interview. So he's firing indirect at the Apothecary and then direct fire at the Talon Master. Just to see if he can get rid of them. So 5 wounds. The Talon Master is dead, does not explode. Kapow! Indirect on the Apothecary. Samuel is still hiding in the middle leftmost objective. Not objective, ruin. So not quite a wipe, I think. Okay, everything into Samuel. Apparently the tank sees him. So this is he alive? He's still alive. We're going into indirect fire. And he saved everything. Heavy stabbers. Four saves. And he's dead. Or is he dead? Maybe he has 1 wound left. Okay, he's 8 wounds, so needs to pump in more. He charges.
Looks like nobody's undefeated in Age of Sigmar.
Who?
Nobody is undefeated in Age of Sigmar.
Oh. That is a rare occurrence.
Yeah. Everyone has 1 loss on record. Maybe Joel, a guy from Stockholm, has a chance of getting undefeated, but it's not settled yet, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is. Why does he only have 4 games on record then?
So Dark Union movie face moves back with Samuel. Maybe. She should at least try to score 1 objective to get some more points.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters at all.
We have come to assimilate you. Do not resist. Oh wait, that's the wrong franchise.
That's a much softer franchise.
Yeah, the Borg are freaking creepy though.
Yeah, the Borg are actually very, very creepy. They would fit in the 41st millennium.
Yeah, definitely.
So he shoots plasma at the Skitari up north. But we haven't updated the score. I tried to get an update of the score, but they ignored me.
Yeah. So the score is not.
That is not correct.
No.
I don't know how many points Richard and Tim actually have.
Yeah, they are.
But it's soon over. This is the last fight phase. And then we can just pull them in for an interview and ask them. Nick. That should be the game.
Yep.
We'll go out and talk to them and we'll be right back, hopefully with an interview.
Yeah.
Varför får du 90? Har jag glömt sätta en målning på dig? Ja, to the last. Ja.
Var det där the game?
Ja, 54 i diff.
54 i diff.
Men jag får upp till 41,88. Vad är det jag missar? Stranglehold.
Jag har ju 15 Stranglehold, 15 på Direct Assault. Och 10 på Blast och sen maxen mot Primary.
Jäklar vad ni blev en snackis då ni började köra. Helvete. Det var bra match. Riktigt kul att streama.
Vad blir det?
54 så 18-2 då.
Ja, 18. Ja, 2 poäng på det.
Vill ni ta en snabb intervju? Vi hade ju inte gjort det vid din förra match.
Ja,
Så vi tar det båda. Och sen så får du en retur in i båset.
Ja,
Första och
reggar
sista.
Ja.
Reggar du matchen?
Kan jag göra.
18-2. Vad hamnar jag på då? Nej, det är tufft alltså. Admech är ju
Stenhårda.
bra plats.
Riktigt bra just nu.
Alltså tro mig.
Man behöver kosta lite mer de här skitarisarna. Typ en poäng till i alla fall. Känns som att man har en blom extra liksom, som man inte förtjänar riktigt.
Ja.
Ja, men med alla buffarna, det är ju det som vi gör dem så
Ja, man kan springa fram med en skål där. Här är jag odödlig liksom.
Ja, nej, det är svårt.
Alla sa ju direkt då det gick för mitten bara wipad, nu är han wipad direkt.
Ja,
Så bara, helvete, satan man döda skitari. Helvete.
Herregud.
ja, och hade jag fått börja, då hade det ju varit ännu bättre. Då hade jag ju kunnat skjuta det här.
Då har du ju play liksom.
Vad sa du?
Då har du ju bra play.
Ja,
Ja,
det var
är
riktigt
det
bra
som
play.
var lite eller jag hoppades på att
Ja.
kunna. Men det är som det är.
Det är som det är.
Det är spelets gång.
Ja,
Ja.
Hade du rapporterat?
jajamän.
Ja.
Och ni bjöd på bra underhållning så.
Ja, vad bra.
Ja, vad kul.
All right. Du hade fel i din prediction.
Vad sa du?
Jag kom inte tvåa.
Nej, det kom inte tvåa. Jag ville ju som inte ge det första platsen. Det
Nej.
kan ju bara inte göra sådär.
Nej, men om inte Tim hade tankat orken åt mig så vet du fan hur det hade gått.
Ja,
Alltså.
jag var faktiskt rätt nöjd in i Drukari.
Ja, ja.
Jag hade nästan hoppats på den.
Och ändå
Och
mosade
så hade jag
orken.
läst på också,
Ja.
så jag var med hela kvällen. Ja,
Ja.
men det här blir
Ja.
perfekt.
Men jag hade läst på orkerna och sådär. Så. Ja, under 5 minuter var på klockan.
Ja.
Men det är bra. Nej, bra, alltså, man ska ju spela på klockan hela tiden. Men sorry för missförståndet där med scoringen. Ja, vi fixar ju det.
Vilken?
Det missförståndet med scoringen, att jag slog över till dig. När vi scorade
Jaha,
dig.
ja
och
men
det var så.
precis. Ja. Vi klarar ju det. Det var bara, ja men det är ju lika mycket skillnad. Ja, 18-2 till. Det är ändå bra.
Lika om dig.
Du höll dig, du körde din på 10.
Alla matcherna där borta spelar lika medan jag vann med 19-1. Så jag bara, guff!
19-1.
Vad häftigt. Riktig Submarine Knights Guard. Det var ju lättaste matchen av alla. Till runda 3 hade han ju ingenting kvar.
Ja.
Så,
Och jag kommer 3 då. Ja,
kanske. Ja, men du hamnar på
73.
Sweet.
Oh. Varsågod. Du tog alla svåra matcher åt dig.
Så gjorde du en läggmatch här på slutet så jag skulle få
Jaha.
komma om dig.
Det är bra.
Hur många dödade du då?
Alla utom
Ja,
4.
det var ju på...
Nej, 6 stycken var kvar.
Ja.
Hur många har du?
120.
Jag gick upp till 140 igår. Jag dödade alla.
8 kvar.
We will have an interview with the players shortly. The final score ended up going 18 points to Richard and 2 to Tim. So Tim sadly lost his second place. But we'll be back in a moment.
Ja, kommer ihåg det. Ja. Men vad heter det? Så är det tydligen.
And right, if you have any questions for the players, then you can type them in chat, and we can answer them.
Det var riktigt surt faktiskt.
Ja, men VTC-facken tycker att Celestin ska vara 3 assassination-poäng istället för 9 också.
Ni ska tydligen skriva på en sån här också.
Jo, men man ändrar ju reglerna.
Vad var det här för skoj?
Är det vem av alla man har mött eller vadå?
Jag tror det är av alla man har mött man ska skriva in.
Nej, det var väl hur många två tänkte du?
Va?
Av alla de mött?
Nej men jag vet inte om det här är någonting som man skulle ha fyllt i varje match, fyllt i varje motstånd, som det var förut.
Jag tror det är bara en de ska skriva dit. Jag fick bara de där och så sa de, ge de här till dem då de är färdiga. Det är över. Nu har jag bara 12 timmar tåg.
Du också?
Ska du ner till Göteborg?
Ja.
Men jag fick rätt i min...
Jag får i alla fall stanna i Vänersborg.
Ja.
Tar du också nattåget eller åkte du direkt?
Ja, nattåget.
Ja. Ja, då får vi ta någon öl på vägen ner.
Ja, nu.
Alltså jävla nöjd, jag valde sovvagn på vägen ner. På vägen upp, jag hade så jäkla mycket träsmak i röven att jag kunde känna det i fontanellen, alltså satan.
Ska vi se.
Sådär.
Jag kan ta dem där så
Jag
kan
lånar
ni...
din penna.
Ja, det går så fint så. Varsågod. Tackar.
Jag kan ta dem där så får ni packa upp lite grann så kör vi en snabb intervju. Jag har sagt till dem i chatten att om de har några frågor till er så kan de skriva dem i chatten så tar vi dem.
Ja, ska vi ta det nu då eller ska vi vänta tills de har suttit och...
Nej, vi tar det. Packa undan lite grann så tar vi det där och återkommit.
Du får hojta.
Ja.
Nej, jag vet inte. Eventuellt om jag hade fått börja, då tror jag det hade kunnat bli lite mer av en match i alla fall.
Ja.
Alltså
Men,
det är så sjukt mycket skott du skjuter.
ja,
Det är så jävligt mycket firepower.
Plockar ju upp som ingenting.
Ja.
Det är ju hur bra som helst.
Ja.
Vad är det? Träffa två är reroll 1 där.
Ja.
Cirka 6
Eller,
på allt.
det är träffa tvåor, ja, wounda på tvåor.
Sen skriker du plus
ignore
1 och wound.
cover, ja, AP 2. Kan ge plus 1 wound. Så Black Knight som skjuter ju jävligt bra. Nej. Men, nej, så det är väl det som... Och det är ju... Talon Masters skjuter ju jättebra. De är väldigt stadiga. Och sen också med flygplanet. Också bra. Så det är mycket som kan skjuta chatt och en del som kan skjuta elit.
Och sen skulle jag säga, jag tycker det är så himla kul att se såna här listor som har mycket fart, mycket firepower. Jag blir som taggad och det är bra där att de har kört fem games och så bara...
Jo, men folk blir alltid så chockade när jag berättar. Jag vann ju en turnering för ett tag sedan. Folk blir så chockade att den här listan kan...
Ja,
Men man tittar på den, det är typ ingenting.
Ja,
Det är allt du har. Och så bara, så jävla hårt och man dödar inte det.
Och, sen, och just Ravenwing, det är ju Black Knights är det ju nästan, det kör ju folk typ inte.
Nej.
Ja, det var 18-2. Nej, det är tufft.
Och du skulle ju kunna optimera att du slarvar ju lite på engage. Men du skulle liksom positionera vettigare istället.
Men jag kände, jag hade, väldigt svårt att ställa mig någonstans första rundorna. För jag var lite rädd för Lucius-grejen där. Och ja, jag tänkte inte på att du faktiskt kunde hoppa ut med,
Nej, just det.
med dem.
Nej, jag förstår, det är ju hur bra play som helst annars liksom. Bara låsa upp allting och sen... Ja.
Och sen här, den här som sagt.
Ja.
Det var...
Ja, jävla infiltrators som överlevde och stökade.
Men ja, och vad heter det? Jag ställde ju mig här efter du hade ställt dig där. I vetskap om att men de kommer inte kunna charge.
Ja.
Så,
Ja, nej, för mig är det helt så här, det är klart man kan charge. Den regeln har man borta för 8 år.
jo, men jag vet att det är 8:e, men det var därför när jag
GV var inte tydliga med det heller i 8:e liksom. Det var ju också
nej, men turneringar.
turnering.
Så
Ja,
var
ITC
kom från.
Ja, Andy trodde ju det också.
Ja, jo, men de flesta är
Men står ju fucking.
Är ni manade av att göra en sista ryck
Ja, visst.
absolut
för spel och fosterland?
intensivt.
Oh, ja. Men det ska det väl vara i final.
Är det en så är det
So now we're back with Tim and the Omnisire Rickard himself. So we will start talking with Tim here. We have 2 games
Yes.
from you in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah.
Can we start with the first game, the one against the Orcs?
Yeah.
We were all thinking, both me and the chat, that when he got the first turn, started advancing on you, that you would be pressured into the corner and not be able to break out, but somehow you did.
Yeah. I actually thought that when he came to my backline and shot with his burner bomber and killed the apothecary, I was quite sure that it was over.
So
and
did I.
Yeah,
That sounds horrible.
But I have a rule that I never give up, so I just fought on, and after, because I survived with 4 Black Knights, so those were the MVPs later on, since they could shoot with damage 3, so I could pick off the entire flank, and then I just simply held on to the flank for the entire game, and eventually I took it. So
Yeah.
Did you use that as well to just trap them in combat like you did with the plane?
no,
Or with the grenade?
yeah, no, not in that game, because no, it was it doesn't work on vehicles.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And it was mostly vehicles
Yes.
that I charged.
Only vehicles
Yeah.
in that army.
Yep. Otherwise,
But we were also impressed on the amount of firepower that tiny army of yours
Yeah.
actually has. It's
Yeah.
definitely a grower and a shower.
yeah. Yeah, I hear that a lot. And the Talon Masters are always amazing. And I've sprinkled in some green wing with the company veterans. So I have the bodyguard rule, and that's just amazing.
So you play the bodyguard rule. That's why they stay alive.
Yeah, so I can have them on one side of the wall and then have the bodyguards on another side.
And
And
then they
it's a
can't be
shitty
targeted.
broken rule, and I hate it, but
Yeah, well,
you know,
it's
you
the
do
game.
what you...
Everyone does
yeah,
it. I
yeah,
mean, all the
that's
Sisters
how it
players
is.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except one that I faced actually. He was, yeah. But anyways, it was a fun game, and I did not think that it would end up as good as it did against the Orcs. And then I came into, well, first I thought I was gonna play the Drukari Eldar, but then it was Orcs, and then I went into Rickard's.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to play the Orcs, so I'm just happy that you
Yeah.
took a bullet for me.
Yeah, and Admech was very hard, and it was a bit. If I went first, I think I could have done quite a bit of damage early on.
Are you planning? Are you thinking about pre-game moving, then charging into
pre-game? Then I could have flown the plane and bombed one unit, and then I could have took the apothecary and shot and made 2 units and unable to fall back. And
Tag 'em.
tag bow.
No shooting for me.
Yeah, no shooting, and then I'm safe with my entire army. So
Yeah.
That's a really good
everything
trick.
that's in, and nothing can shoot, and Admech doesn't like melee.
Nope.
No.
And there was a rule dispute as
Yeah.
well that
Cost you 5 guys. so
yeah,
from
cost
big bucks.
5 of my Black Knights. And
There
that
was what was
a
it? A
big,
wobbly model syndrome by charging into a wall?
Well, yeah, we discussed if you could stand with the infantry on the wall, like on top of the.
In the middle, having the wall in the middle of a base. And
Yeah,
that's basically
exactly.
a fact in the WTC fact, so you can't have an infantry squad and like a block so that big bases can't make it through and position themselves.
exactly.
But you can, according to the WTC
Yeah.
rules, so you resolve where the models are placed after the combat.
Yeah, and
So
that's a
after-
rule that's been
Okay. It's
since
been around
8th,
forever,
and
but-
we've always
Yeah.
it's always been a thing. But then in 9th, it hasn't, and
so that's been
then
addressed.
I had it ruled against me in a tournament,
Yeah.
and
I
then
heard that part.
it was a VTC tournament,
WTC,
so,
yeah.
and then well, now we read it. It actually says that you can stand in the wall. So, well, it is what it is. You live and you learn.
Yeah,
And it was a great
we were
game
also we thought it
practice.
was that discussion you were having, and we were all like, yeah, it was like that in the 8th edition,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
did it go over to the 9th edition? We didn't really
And
know.
it wasn't like that in 8th, but the ITC had a ruling for the tournaments.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That
It
said you
was a-
could, and the WTC has it now, and the ITC as well, as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Okay,
So
so your game, the last game here against the Dark Angels. Do you have any thoughts about it?
well, I was glad to face Dark Angels instead of Orcs. Well, when I saw the terrain, like with this big L,
Yeah.
I just okay, I'm gonna take both. Those two missions
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you just get
Yeah,
3 points.
I-
It's the Stranglehold and
Yeah.
direct assault. And I figured, you had 1 infiltrator, so I guess I had
Yeah.
more infiltrators. So I
Yeah.
figured I could stand on the other objectives, which I would then hold because start of the command phase. There was quite some good terrain to hide over there.
Yeah.
Like the 5 infiltrators for it.
Yeah, of course.
So that gave me a solid, just ticking points every turn, ticking the primary, and just trying to deny your primary, just throwing
Yeah.
shit out there.
And yeah, if I can
sure.
just say that you did actually play the mission amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you got 15 on primary every single round, and
Yeah.
you got Stranglehold,
Yeah.
and you got the direct assault.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was any luck or such.
No, and I
it
had
was
to sacrifice.
very well played.
Yeah, thank you. I had to sacrifice 1 to the last unit to run out.
Yeah,
and get,
exactly.
and I guess it was worth it because I denied some points from you and I got some points myself. So
And you won the tournament.
I did.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, I hope to see you guys on the next tournament.
Of course.
Maybe you will play on the Grand Fanatic in January.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
in
I didn't-
Stockholm?
Is that the team tournament?
Maybe.
Ah,
The
okay.
Grand Fanatic will become a team tournament, but we
Okay.
will have a test run in January and
Yes,
see.
singles. Yeah.
Yeah, just singles, probably. We haven't
Yeah.
really decided yet. It's still in the
Making,
yeah, in the making. So we will see. But we
Okay.
will have a tournament in January in Stockholm,
Right.
in quite a nice venue. So
Okay.
I hope to see you guys there.
Awesome. Are tickets up?
Ask there.
I will.
Well, and thank everybody who has watched this marathon of plastic goodness. We will just keep the stream going a little bit longer so you can see everybody packing up. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's been active in chat. And see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye. kämpigt.
21.00 ish. Våran Youtube-kanal.
Ja, det är inget... nej, just det. Ja, men det är just det.